Alright, so here's the Reactor V3. We got the massive 150 millimeter tall plates here. This thing can pull a lot of current. Um, I've got some reworked sensors here. I'm not sure if these work yet. I'm gonna check that. I did one power on, and it annihilated the fuse in my multimeter. It pulls so much current. This is so much better than the last one. The nickel is 22% as conductive as copper, and the titanium was like, I think 2 or 3%, somewhere around there. So it's like, and it gets even worse, especially when there's like a lot of oxide on the plates. So this thing can pull a lot of current. It actually like started smoking at one point when I tried to bridge the leads. But I have it just directly connected here. I've got the multimeter hooked up across the leads, and I have it directly connected to my power supply. So here goes nothing. I'm just gonna reset the Arduino, and hopefully nothing blows up here. I'm gonna press this button. Oh my gosh. Is anything blowing up? That is so fast. What the heck? I don't know if you can see that on camera. Those bubbles are flying up there. I don't smell anything smoking yet. These leads, hopefully these leads aren't heating up. What voltage are we reading? 11 volts. Wow, we have a huge voltage drop. It is pulling a lot of current. This alligator clip is getting a bit warm. That is really generating some hydrogen there. That's insane. Wow. Oh no. I see a concentration around the leads there. That's not a good sign. That means it's pulling extra current there and degrading that spot first. Hopefully it'll even out, because these are 0.2 mil plates, so they're thicker than the last ones I used. So hopefully there'll be like an oxide layer forming there, and then it will stop doing this. Hopefully it doesn't just eat through the plate. That could be bad, but I mean, look at all that hydrogen we have already. That's insane. That's crazy. Okay, how are we doing on temperatures here? That is getting hot. Okay, that's not good. This lead is just warming up, yeah. It is starting to smell a little bit. I'm gonna turn this off. Okay. Wow, that's insane. What was actually heating up here? This bolt is a bit warm. This is actually loose. Wow, okay, so like, that's crazy. Okay, that's a bit warm. This bolt is hot. Okay, that's, wow. Okay, these leads are just heating up. These aren't actually copper, these are just electroplated steel. But it seems like the leads themselves were heating up. I think this was like aluminum. They just like painted it and electrocoated it with copper because they're cheap leads. So I'm actually needing to replace these. It's insane. Reading 1.3 volts across the cell. It's acting like this is like a hydrogen cell. It's generating some power. That should all be hydrogen. I don't know if we degraded it all. We'll have to see. Oh, the water level's almost at trigger. That's insane. Here's a little, I don't know if I can get that on camera. There's the sensor that will act as a failsafe and trigger and shut down everything once the water gets to that level. But it didn't look like we got there before I shut it off. Stuff was just heating up so much. Okay, well, good to know. I can't actually measure the current. I would need like a clamp-on meter because this thing got destroyed. I need to replace the fuse in that now. But it looks like the Arduino's fine. I'm assuming I'm not going to turn on the pump, but I did see it run at the beginning. I'll have to see if these new capacitive sensors are actually working. This one at the top here should tell me where the water level is, hopefully. And then I have another one down under there somewhere. I'm also reading the temperature of the liquid. I mean, the water, there's so much thermal mass there, I doubt the water is going to heat up really too much. I mean, it generates hydrogen so fast that I feel like when I have it in shutdown mode, it'll like generate hydrogen until it triggers the sensor and then shut everything down. I feel like if it takes that much time to generate this much hydrogen, it'll probably just like barely heat up at all. I'm going to need to figure out how to get those leads worked out because those leads might overheat in that short amount of time. But once I do that, I mean, I might just add another, like bolt another lead on here. I don't know if this bolt will transfer enough current. But once I do that and get the current situation figured out, it should be no issue temperature-wise with the water. I can just generate a batch of hydrogen and trigger it off and then come home and fill it up. I think that'll be a great setup. Yeah, so I'll eventually get this powered off. I don't know if this power supply is kind of warm. That's normal. Yeah, I'll eventually try to power this off my solar system. I don't know if 50 watts will do it. I'll have to see how much power this thing pulls. It might kill my battery. But yeah, that's pretty insane. This is a 750 watt, 12 volt power supply, and it just chewed through that water and generated a bunch of hydrogen. I mean, I kind of expected it. So all these are double nickel, nickel cathode, nickel anode, and then I have a 60 millimeters of nickel in these leads here. I'm having some issues with focusing the camera. But yeah, this thing can pull a lot of current because it's got those 60 millimeters of nickel, and these leads couldn't even keep up. I need some copper leads. But yeah, I guess I'll test this hydrogen, see how pure it is. I'll need to work on making sure that's all good. There was some air in here before, so it'll probably have a pop when I do an ignition test. But I mean, it can generate some hydrogen. That's awesome. I think V3 is the third time's the charm here. Thank goodness. This is taking way too long. But yeah, nickel on nickel. That's the way to do it, apparently.